Good morning, everybody. It's Bill from the Plasmainfusion, and today I'm going to give you a little quick primer on battle counters because everyone's been asking me because we've been getting a lot of them in, and just a quick little run through of what we have and actually how they hook up, and then I'll throw it to everyone else because some of the connections we don't use. They apparently can be used to daisy chain them together, but we'll get to that in a minute. So this is the newest one we have. This is the 1A Big Woo's battle counter with the LCD screen, which is here. This one is a little more in-depth than the other Big Woo's that we have that does not have this screen. That one is right here. This is essentially the same model. It's called the Big Woo's also, but is the prior version. This one actually is brand spanking new. We're going to plug them in. I'm going to show you what each one does and what they actually mean. So this one records hits, big wins, hits, and side pocket wins. Essentially, all these are cool extras that give you the parlor feel. So this one has a call button to call the girl to come, sorry, wrong button. The call button to call the girl to come help you. Usually to bring you balls, change out balls or drinks. And this one does this. Some of the other ones have an 8-bit girl that's on there, or a guy, depending on how you want to call it. And it keeps track of wins on these various screens here. This is how many hits you have. And it's giving you stats, and when you daisy chain them together using all the wires here, theoretically they will record other machines numbers for your parlor. So you can see the stats since we've hooked this up. Wins, losses, or I should say wins, hits, how many times you got the big win, and vice versa. Now, if you hit, you will get various lights. So this is a big win if you were to get it into the center pocket. If you get a reach level, it actually does a little bit more. And this one gives you a little extra lights for a side pocket. And it gives you, it's keeping stats. If you notice here, you're getting, let's see, there you go. You're getting recording your stats for your wins. And that's essentially what they are, but people like them because they make really cool lights and they're pretty and above your machine, such as we have here built into the wall. It adds a lot more to the game. So anyway, that is the Big Woo's with the LCD screen, and let me show you the next one. Okay, now next on the list is the Daichai DLZ1, and this is also a premium or deluxe one. This is a newer one too. The 1A is brand new. Those are probably about a year, 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old. These are probably like 3 or 4 years old. These also have lots of cool colors. Very cool colors. They have an 8-bit call button. And they do the same thing. They record your stats, and you can use the buttons on the other side to, I like the guy, to run your parlor, and they have really cool lights. Just sitting there on its own, it does this, and it's going to run through a whole spectrum of colors as it plugged in here. Being the deluxe models, these have a whole elaborate wiring system that we'll walk you through how to plug it in. It's going to come with this bundle of wires in the back here that actually hook to let me put this down, a P1 plate, which is one of these bundles of wires here, and you're going to wire off of the P1 plate. There's a CN 3, 4, and 5 that you're going to wire onto the back of your unit into the CN, or I should say, on this one they marked RN, but they're normally CN 3, 4, and 5. And that's where you're going to hook your wires onto. You're going to clip the they're going to end with a terminal like this, and we'll leave them on if you want, or we can clip them off and just leave your bare wires on the end. And what you're going to do is, it doesn't matter one way or another because it's a low voltage, it's just a signal wire. To here, your counter is going to hook into the P1 wire right on one of these big terminals here, and then you could actually technically daisy chain off to another DLZ from this one to another one, and that'll record your parlor stats. This has a bundle of wires on here that it's actually scary looking. We don't use 70% of the wires on here. You're going to use actually 3 on this side, you're going to attach on this side, and that's it. Your counter is also going to come with a ton of wires, and you're not going to use any of them. You can either clip them off, or we leave them on there so you can daisy chain, or you can play with them. And most of the lines there are low voltage except for the red and the yellows. Those are your power lines, same as on your pachinko. Your counters work on 24 volts, so you need a transformer. We leave you with this tag here, and you can either get a different transformer from us to power them off, or you could splice them right into your post 24 volt transformer side. The 24 volt side of your transformer, your battle counters only work on very low voltage. It's like 2 amps. So you can take it off your pachinko machine and they will be fine. If you were to hook a whole mess of them together, I'd say you should get your own transformer. But for 1 or 2 battle counters, you should be fine. And the power line that comes off of here actually has, we're running this off its own transformer, but you can power off of this transformer and then use this line here to daisy chain to another battle counter just to power them, and then you can run them endlessly off one transformer. Again, that's the DLZ one. Very cool. And then if you want to go basic, we have, and then your basic one is your Asai Surfy. This is a really nice one. It's cheap, down and dirty, and it's the little ones that we have here. This one has lights and alerts, and it has the stats, same stats as the other ones, except it's just not as cool. It also has the call guy, which is the coolest part to begin with. It runs through all the lights. It has lots of colors. It is LED lights, so there's various colors that pop up. And then the easiest part of this whole thing is you don't need a P1 plate. This one has its own wiring harness. It's a quickie wiring harness down here. And we color code it to your CN 3, 4, and 5. We'll give you a little instruction booklet on how to pop them in. You pop them in and you'll get it works. Just to show you the alerts. There you go. It's giving you alerts. That's a big win. There's a regular win here. And there you go. And that is our battle counters we have in stock. We have the 3 kinds. Again, the 1A LCD or regular, and the DLZ, and then the Asai. They're various prices. Most of that price is actually the shipping to us. There you go. We'll walk you through how to install them. They do work on pretty much most pachinkos, modern pachinkos that have this kind of attachment. As long as you have the CN attachments on the back of your pachinko, they will hook up. And then power, we can tell you how to splice. We can include splices, or we can walk you through how to do it, or we can supply you with the transformer to power them on their own. We also have a couple other battle counters that we didn't show here. We're still learning how to attach those because those actually don't work on a P1 plate. They work on an S plate, and the S plate is, we're still learning. So you can ask us about those. Otherwise, there's your battle counters. Enjoy.